Kibble, the Monarch Caterpillar Afraid to Get Wings by Anita Ganan. Illustrations by John Fraser.
I flew over a place the other day that stirred feelings I had never felt before. Since I didn't have much to do that day, I decided to make circles in the sky. At first I flew high above the trees, then down low over the water. The morning sun felt warm on my black wings, and there were all sorts of beautiful wildflowers. Their colors popped blue, white, yellow, and red, but in all those wildflowers, there was one catching my eye that day. The milkweed. I only bring it up because it has to do with this story I'm about to share with you. See, it was because of my interest in that patch of milkweed that I noticed something. It was just a speck under one of those milkweed plants, but for some reason, this didn't seem quite right to me. So I dove down and sat upon a nearby branch to have a closer look. Only then did I notice it wasn't a speck at all, but a tiny little monarch caterpillar. He couldn't have been more than a few days old. I must have scared him too, because do you know what he said to me in the smallest of voices I have ever heard? He said,
"Please don't eat me."
Well, I thought that was funny because I'm a blackbird, and every blackbird knows not to eat a monarch caterpillar. So, of course, I told him the reason why. "I'm not gonna eat you, kid. You're poisonous to me."
I am?
"You sure are." Now that the little fella knew he'd make me very sick if I ate him, he was no longer afraid of me. So I decided to introduce myself. "Larry's the name, and you are?"
Kibble.
"Nice to meet you, Kibble. Say, why are you way down there on the ground? Shouldn't you be nibbling on all that, tasty milkweed above you?"
Oh, that's all right. I'm not very hungry.
"Wait a minute. A caterpillar who doesn't want to eat? Why, I never heard of such a thing. How do you expect to shed, my friend, if you don't eat?"
Shed?
"Yes, indeed. You'll end up eating so much milkweed that you'll shed your skin anywhere from 4 to 6 times.
You mean I won't have any skin?
Oh, no, you'll have skin, little buddy. Shedding is a good thing. Each time you do, you're getting ready to build your chrysalis."
My what?
Your chrysalis. Your digs, my friend. A comfy little home where you can relax and let the fun of metamorphosis begin.
Metamorpho what?
Metamorphosis. Caterpillars all go through it. It's what makes them butterflies and moths you see today. In my opinion, though, the cool part about metamorphosis is that when it's over, you'll have your very own set of wings. They'll look a lot different than mine, of course, but the point is, you'll be able to fly. I suppose at this point, I was expecting Kibble to smile. I mean, I just told him he was going to be able to fly. But you know something? He didn't look the least bit excited. I thought maybe he didn't hear me, so I stretched my wings out as far as they would go. I flapped them and flipped them, just to show him how great wings are. I waited for him to smile, but he just sat there, all wide-eyed and staring at me. Now, what happens next is something I'd rather not tell you about, but since it's part of the story, I'm going to leave it in. See, I was so set on getting Kibble to smile that I started making funny poses with my wings. I know, not my finest hour. I tried hanging 10 like a surfer dude. Then I flexed my muscles to look like Hercules. But my saddest attempt to get a smile was my Egyptian pharaoh pose. I don't even want to show you that one. Thankfully, I don't think Kibble saw it either, because somewhere in the middle of all that posing, he had turned for me to look up at the sky. Kibble sat there staring at the sky for quite a while, too. I almost asked him if he was feeling all right, but then Kibble asked me a very strange question.
Is there a way to not get wings?
Not that I know of. Why do you ask, my friend?
Oh, no reason. Just, it looks so big up there.
I didn't know what to say to the little fella. His eyes were wide and his face looked Well, it looked to me like there might be a lot more going on with this little caterpillar than he was letting on. Now, at the time, I didn't know much about monarch caterpillars, but I did know this. Kibble needed to eat to have enough strength to build his chrysalis and survive metamorphosis. So, to give myself some time to think...